Like if Republicans didn't have enough material to go on hating on migrants, hating on refugees that are coming from Syria, now we got reports from Honduras in Central America that they had detained 5 Syrian immigrants with stolen Greek passports that came through the country after traveling, Margaret. It was a whole tour: Turkey, Brazil, Argentina, San Jose in Costa Rica, finally getting to Tegucigalpa, the main city in Honduras, with stolen passports. They got a tip from the authorities in Athens where they saying, you got these guys on its way, they have stolen passports. They haven't been accused of being part of ISIS or having any terrorist motivations for their travel, although it's very, very unlikely that these guys did that long of a travel with stolen passports because they wanted to start a new life.
Yes, that's highly unlikely. And also we need to point out Interpol was responsible for monitoring and tipping off the authorities in these countries. You can see their trajectory, though. You can see where it would be possible, if not likely, for them to cross the U.S.-Mexican border into the United States, which would be the speculation, which you can understand how these would become major, especially presidential talking points in this case, because We've heard a lot about this. This is coming on the heels of the Gang of Eight. Right, I think this happened today or yesterday, with Rubio, Schumer, and McCain all pairing up for a new immigration policy. So I'm wondering how the talking points are going to shift, specifically with that border, Jose.
The speculation is that these guys were trying to get to San Pedro Tula, one of the most dangerous places in Earth outside of war zones, to try to get these guys as migrants, Central American migrants that go up north through Central America, then through Mexico. This is a gruesome journey just to get to the U.S. border. In itself, getting to the U.S. border, it's a lot of risk. But it has, like you said, it opens a lot of questions. It opens the need for a organized coalition of the states in the continent, United States, Mexico, Central America, South America, where they share intelligence, because otherwise there's no way that we know who's coming in, where they're coming in. And when we see the attacks that happen in Paris, when we see that ISIS is moving on from defending their territory into instilling fear by hitting international big cities, I don't think there's not enough precautions. Now, if you add this to the current immigration debate, how the Republicans are pushing this anti-immigration sentiment, this kind of racist overtone to the politics, this is just a recipe for disaster. You are fueling the fears of people. Yes, this is just a speculation. It's something that we need to report, though, but it's just like giving them a candy to Ted Cruz, to, everyone came out. Now we have an official resolution from Paul Ryan saying we need to take a break. We can't get any more Syrian refugees.
Right. Not only that, but 21 other governors of states that have come out and said, we don't want your refugees here. They're coming out en masse saying, do not send us refugees. 21 in all as of this morning. You pointed out Ted Cruz, who did a very interesting interview, I might add. His father, full disclosure, his father was a refugee, had refugee status, immigrated to the United States. Do we know what Cruz's sentiment is on refugee status or giving people a specialized status needing to come to the U.S.?
He wants to cut them out. He wants to
Although he benefited from
unless they are Christians.
Okay.
Because if they're Christians, there's almost no, he said something like, there's no data that supports that a Christian will become a terrorist. Right. If they were terrorists, we will be in a different situation here in our country. So that's his sentiment. His sentiment is, if they're Muslims, I don't want them. If they're Christian, they're welcome. If they're from Syria, if they're escaping the terrors of war, 7 million people going away from their country because of war that is being waged by different countries that, they want to have control over the area.
But it's not Islamophobia, it's national security.
National security.
Okay.
Is it national security? Is it Islamophobia? What we know is there's 5 Syrian citizens detained in Honduras because they were traveling on fake or stolen Greek passports, and now we have concerns that they might use the same roles of human trafficking that bring people from Central America to the U.S. to come into this country.